Welcome to my channel. Enjoy this video and subscribe my channel. 90 Day. The last resort couple Brandon Gibbs and Julia Trubkina have been dropping hints about having a baby together amid their franchise comeback. Julia is from Krasnodar in Russia while Brandon is from Dinwiddie, Virginia, but their paths crossed in 2019 under the most unexpected circumstances. Brandon's friend who was traveling saw Julia dancing at a club in South Korea and connected them through a video call. Julia used to work as a go-go dancer for a living when she met Brandon. He didn't mind then but didn't want Julia working at a club in America. Julia has not been back home since she arrived in the US in 2020. Julia married Brandon in April 2020 while having to deal with his parents, Ron and Betty Gibbs' interference in their private lives. Moving out of Brandon's parents' house was also not a great idea since the elderly couple was still involved in their affairs. It appears they are also influencing Brandon's decision about having kids with Julia. Brandon and Julia's baby saga is a twisted affair, but could it have come to an end with Julia getting pregnant this year? Julia and Brandon disagreed over having kids in May 2023. Julia shared an emotional update on her Instagram where she addressed the repeated questions from fans about when she was going to have a baby with Brandon. It had been 3 years since Julia and Brandon's wedding, but she wrote that whether it's 3 years or 10 years, it doesn't oblige a couple to have children. Julia explained she and Brandon had never tried to have a baby because it had never been a goal of theirs. She added that society shouldn't decide when a couple is supposed to have kids. Julia wished for fans to stop asking questions. She mentioned some health issues she was going through and some important questions about the future, which she didn't disclose. However, Brandon talked about the topic in his own Instagram post. His opinions on having babies differed from his wife's. "I think it's hard to be 100% ready for this, but I think part of me is already saying why not start trying," Brandon wrote. He suspiciously added, "We had a conversation with Julia," not revealing who he was referring to. Fans wondered if Brandon's parents were involved in their business again. Natalie made a shocking observation about Julia. Julia came face-to-face with Natalie Mordov-Seva while filming 90 Day, The Last Resort Season 2 in Arizona. The co-stars were last seen together in 90 Day Fiance Season 8, but seemed to have had some tensions running between them because Natalie was from Ukraine and Julia's from Russia. Natalie's boyfriend, Josh Weinstein, noticed some bad vibes between Natalie and Julia and asked her if they knew each other. Natalie said they did, and their relationship was twisted, complicated. Julia pulled Natalie aside to talk to her in private. Julia was being polite to Natalie by asking her if she wanted a drink. The two exchanged pleasantries in Russian, but as they sat down to chat, Natalie asked Julia, out of the blue, "Are you pregnant?" When Julia said no, Natalie told her she had gained some weight. An offended Julia lashed out at Natalie in her confessional, where she said she was trying to start fresh with Natalie, but she tried to insult her by talking about her weight. "You are not fat," Julia said angrily. However, Julia didn't say anything about her supposed pregnancy. Julia hinted she's hiding something from fans. 90 Day The Last Resort's Julia's Instagram posts tend to be a little cryptic. She had Instagram stories showing her crying, but not revealing the reason why. Julia hinted at divorce from Brandon and claimed they were separated for the anniversary in 2024, even though they went on a European vacation later that year. In November, Julia posted a reel featuring Brandon with the voiceover, "Did you miss us? 'Cause we missed you." She wrote the cryptic caption, "Social media is not reality. It's time to tell what I usually started to say and always stopped myself."